Hey everybody, in our last video, just about a month ago, we unboxed this Roomba i7 Plus. We then set it up, checked out all the features, put it through its paces, and it's been working great. Has been taking a little bit longer to do the job, and I noticed that I got a bag full notification, but when I override the system and did a manual empty, it seemed to have worked fine. So I wanted to take a closer look at the system, make sure that everything is still okay with a preventative maintenance inspection, even though I wasn't told to do so. So we're going to get into it. Let's get started. So I'm going to take out the bag and we'll have a look at it. And we can see the bag definitely looks full, but it's not entirely full. So I'm going to replace it with the provided bag. I haven't gotten the reusable bags yet. So we're going to go with this one. And I still have time to order the reusable one off of eBay, so we can try that out later. Once the bag's fully seated, I'll also make sure the bag itself is not crimped. Close the lid. Move the Roomba over to the table to work on it a bit. Here in the base station, we can see a clear plastic port where the dirt travels to the bag. Just want to lift up the base station and take a look under. Make sure there's no obstructions in here. I'm adding this to the video because I forgot to do this. Make sure you put it in standby, and you do that by holding the targeted cleaning for 15 seconds. If you push too hard and you don't see it highlight on the right hand side, you're doing it wrong. Also, for whatever reason, mine would not go into standby unless I took it off the docking station, put it back on the docking station, let the spinny thing boot up or whatever it does, and then hold it down for the 15 seconds gently so you see the light was highlighted only on the right hand side. And then it worked fine, but this is not in the manual, so it's good to know this. There you go. Looking at the phone, we see the device is no longer connected. It is now in standby. Depressing the spot cleaning button while on the charger will take it out of standby when we finish with this operation. Something's definitely rattling around in this unit. I'm sure we'll figure out what it is. Over here is the collection bin, which we're going to remove. There's also a spinning brush over here, which is damaged. We're going to repair this if we can. And we're going to take a look at all the wheels and sensors. I'll turn it back over to release the dust bin, and pushing that button releases the bin, and we can see that this thing looks absolutely nasty. But as I shake it, whatever's loose in the unit is not in the bin. So we're going to put this off to the side. And I can see the part now, so I'll just tilt it up. There it is. Fell out onto the table. These things will pick up anything that's on the floor, and a lot of it will get stuck. So it needs to be controlled, especially if it makes a sound. Push in this green tab to release the lever, and I start to pull out the rollers. Already I could see an issue here. It's completely impacted with hair and carpet and string and whatnot, causing resistance. It would no doubt slow this down and increase power consumption. Pressing this white button on the dustbin will open up the door. We can see inside here is absolutely nasty. There's also what looks like to be a cable tie stuck in there as well. You get moisture by the dog bowl sucking up dirt and stuff that's wet, coupled with humidity in Florida, and you're going to see impacted dirt like this. Here's the filter being removed, and that filter's completely impacted. I'm going to remove the side brush now in an attempt to repair it instead of replacing it with the spare, so I'm just going to unscrew it with a screwdriver and pull it right off. And as I remove it, we could see more hair and string and whatnot getting in between the works here, causing extra resistance. Look at that. Behind the brush area, I thought I was going to simply just wipe everything down, but again, the moisture and the humidity has embedded all of this into the plastic, so I ended up having to use a cleaner to get this stuff removed. And it looks like there's a little metal sensor here in the middle that I also delicately cleaned, but it took several minutes to get everything worked out of this to get it back to some resemblance of new. So if you get water exposed to the dust, it really becomes something as it builds up, but this is now looking good again. This front wheel, I cleaned up the contact surface with the floor, and it also pops off as you see here, and it's a good thing it does, because again, we come up with this problem of hair and carpet getting caught between these areas that causes resistance with the wheel. So I've removed that, and I'm just going to pop the wheel right back in, give it a spin, and now it spins freely. And very quickly, with a clean paper towel with no cleaning agent, I'm just going over all these little glass sensors that are around the perimeter of the unit just to make sure any dust or dirt is removed. Looking at the rollers now, it's a reoccurring theme. You can see how the hair and the carpet collects on the side, causing resistance to these pieces. So just pull it right out. No problem to remove, but there it is. The other side as well, no different. Pop that out. Look at that. Take a look at the other roller. Same thing. Flip it around. And this one's completely impacted. And I went to see if there's more in there. So I tried pulling some out with a screwdriver. I don't think it really matters what's all the way up in there because it's not really affecting it. But I just went and tried to pull some out with a screwdriver anyway. I don't think it provides any benefit, if negligible benefit, to trying to get the very last of that stuff out of there. But whatever. These rolls themselves are nasty, so I'm going to wash them. And here they are washed and cleaned, so I can put them right back in the unit. This brush got caught on a wire and spun around and got knotted, so it broke. But I think with a little bit of light heat from a lighter several inches away, I could heat it up and mold it back in position. And there it is. So the brush is now fixed. And this could go right back on the unit. I don't need to replace the brush. I'm going to pull the filter out of this dustbin and then thoroughly wash it because it is absolutely nasty. And here it is, completely washed out. There's both chambers. This is the top side, and you can see that screen element that separates the bottom side. Nice and clean now. And from here, this section, you can see the bottom side where the filter goes, exposes that. Both areas cleaned out now. However, this is going to have to sit overnight to ensure that it is completely dry before I continue. I want to see what I could do about this original filter to see if it could be brought back without swapping it out. So we're going to give it a go, see what we can do. I know some people are going to complain that I should just be swapping the filter instead of blowing it out with compressed air, but I'm not going to know if this is working unless I try it. So I'm using compressed air to blow out all the dust, and we're going to give this filter another chance. So now I'm going to reinstall that repaired brush. The screw allows for either a Phillips or a flathead. I would, however, recommend using a Phillips screwdriver for tightening down this brush. Pushing the green tab opens up the clasp to insert the rollers. The ends of the rollers are labeled by shape, so you know which roller goes where. Here we see the corresponding shapes of those rollers. So we insert them one by one. It's a little bit fiddly to turn them to get them to lock into place. Eventually they fall into their slot. Then they get pushed in the slot on the other side. Give them a little roll with your fingers, shows that they're in the tracks. And then we could close the clasp. I inspect the dustbin to make sure every single area is absolutely dry. Any moisture is going to cause dirt to cake up in the dustbin and cause the problem that we saw before. I take the cleaned filter, reinsert it back in the dustbin. I'm going to find out how well the cleaned filter works versus a new one. The dustbin is then reinstalled back into the unit from that hinge, slid, and then locked in position. I'll find out one mistake I made was leaving this on the table overnight. When I put the Roomba back on the station, it was going to have to stay there for a while and charge because I hadn't put it in standby, but I had mentioned how to do this and take it out of standby earlier in the video. Regular maintenance will keep the Roomba running like new. This can be witnessed in the amount of time it takes to complete the running of the map when it cleans the house, provided there are no anomalies. You can review that to see if the times are changing. I hope you found this video enjoyable, entertaining, helpful, insightful. Hit that like button down below, helps me out a lot when you do, and hit that subscribe button to be notified of more videos like this when they come out. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Would you like to reply?